Blank will be the big winner during the government funding negotiations.
Oh, this is easy. 100% it's Donald Trump is going to be the big winner, and I'll tell you why. Because Democrats are spineless at the moment. I'm looking at you, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who just a few months ago, telling everyone we're going to block Donald Trump's spending package, and then goes in overnight and secretly votes yes to advance it, and then yes on the floor of the Senate. Look, Democrats, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but they have no idea who they are right now. Not only are they trying to fight Donald Trump, they're quite literally fighting each other for control of their own party's identity. And I think there is a growing swath of that party's electorate who are tired of Democrats playing by the rules. They want to see fight, and quite frankly, even Hakeem Jeffries, during his 28-hour-long filibusters on the House floor, his fighting is ineffectual. It's great publicity. It lets him, fundraise $10 million in an off-year campaign cycle 24 hours after, ending that speech, but it doesn't actually effectuate any change. It doesn't actually obstruct the Republican agenda or Donald Trump's quest to expand executive power. And to be quite frank, shutting down the government would give Trump an even greater push, right? Like, lawmakers won't be there.
You don't want, if you're a Democrat, the last thing you want is Russ Vought in charge of federal outlays.
Yeah.
Because practically speaking, it's OMB and Treasury, right?
Correct. And just, Tiana, again, we're really in the weeds here. In a government shutdown, OMB, the Office of Management and Budget, determines what federal employees should be furloughed or are essential and can keep working even though everyone else is at home. Who do you think is going to be working under a government shutdown? It's certainly not the people who the Trump administration is trying to get fired. It's the people who the president has appointed to these positions and are actively working 48/7 to push the agenda.
If you have the word diversity or equity or inclusion in your job title, you're going to be terminated and deemed non-essential.
At least furloughed. Yeah. And now you might be saying, it sounds like what you're saying suggests the opposite, that, perhaps Donald Trump won't be the winner. Donald Trump wins no matter what happens. He wins if Democrats vote to keep the current spending levels, which again, they're not cutting levels, they're not raising levels. This is just extending what Democrats already voted for in March. And if they don't, if they decide to shut down the government, then they get to point at the Democrats and say, oh, they're obstructionist, blah, 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 blah. We're trying to make sure these hardworking federal employees who are sticking here and dealing with all of our BS and still doing their jobs and trying to help the American workers, that means they don't get paychecks. Like, it's a lose-lose situation for Democrats. They put themselves here, and therefore I think Donald Trump wins no matter what.
It's incredibly weird to say that, 10 years after becoming the main character of American politics, Donald Trump is still at the zenith he is in a better position politically than he literally ever has been.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's Trump's world and we're just living in it, which is why my answer is going to be, it's kind of a cop-out. I'm hoping the Constitution will be the big winner of the shutdown fight. And here's what I mean. Donald Trump has no real constraints within his own party.
Correct.
And in part, that's because Trump temperamentally is a moderate on the things that matters, right? He's never pushing people to go back to 1995 with stuff that's actually controversial, like whatever, gay marriage or cutting Social Security, the latter of which obviously, that's what I would do. He's facing no real opposition from the Democrats. The social institutions have lost against him, and geopolitically, he's now the leader of it all and NATO's best friend.
Yeah. I mean, he has European leaders who laughed to his face during the last term,
now
calling
being
him Dear
Give
Donald.
Me more, Papa.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you were so right to push us for our 2% defense spending increases.
Yes.
This is Keir Starmer, if you couldn't figure it out. We're going to do 5% now.
So the only guardrail Trump really has is the Constitution.
Yeah.
And frankly, we know he mostly respects that. We know, he brought back Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Now he's going to Uganda or whatever, but he can go party with Zoran Mamdani. So the reason why I bring up the Constitution specifically in the spending fight, So Donald Trump got one major rescissions package passed through the Senate
Yes.
that cut, it was about $10 billion of
Just under 10, yeah.
of already authorized government spending. And it's a very smart constitutional hack. Reagan, I think in 1983, he, as a share of today's federal outlays, he used these like government rescission packages to rescind $100 billion in the equivalent of those federal outlays today of federal spending, which is great. I think it's a great muscle memory to have. Trump's now graduating to these things called pocket rescissions, which
Right.
the Government Accountability Office says is just not legal. You can't like
Legally dubious at best.
you need Congress to if Congress delegates money, you have to spend it, and if you don't want to spend it in order for that to be legal, you have to ask the Senate, "Hey, can you vote this back?" And they can rescind it. And that's great. The pocket rescissions are definitely not legal. And we'll see more if the Senate takes up more of the tariffs, if they make him enforce the TikTok ban. Right now, I think as like an institutional small c conservative, that's the stuff that scares me the most. So it's a little bit of wishful thinking, but I genuinely do think like Neil Gorsuch and Amy Coney Barrett are not okay with, oh, well, you can do a pocket rescission because it's my guy, right? Like I'm not gonna, I don't know how everyone on the bench is gonna vote, but like for the most part, I trust the conservatives on the Supreme Court are not Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert.
Be careful what you wish for.
Please don't tell me I just memed that into reality.